So I did a video recently on YouTube where I asked the question of what is it that's holding you back from starting an online business? And one of the things that came up a few times was I don't have the time to start an online business. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and we're also going to talk about exactly how, if you're in that position where you feel you don't have the time, how you can get past that and ultimately create and build a successful online business. Okay, now as you're watching this, if you get something out of it, hit like. If you have something to share or a question that you would like me to cover in another video, then please comment below with any questions that you have. And also don't forget to hit subscribe, because I do a ton of videos like this to do with starting your own online business. So hit subscribe and hit the little notification bell as well, and you'll get reminders whenever they go live. So let's talk about this question of I don't have the time to start an online business. Now, first of all, is I don't have the time, is that the truth or is that a belief? Now, the natural response is we're going to say, oh, it's the truth. I really don't have the time. Okay, so let's pick it apart a little bit. Now, what we know is that as human beings, we all have the same amount of time in a given day. The difference is, what is it we're doing with our time? So some of us have kids, some of us don't have kids, some of us don't have jobs, some of us do have jobs, some of us are working 40 hours a week, some of us are working 60 hours a week, some of us do a lot of stuff to give back to our communities, some of us don't, some of us have partners, some of us don't, right? There's all sorts of different things that we do or don't do with our time, but the truth is that as human beings, we all have the same amount of time in the day. So if we're saying it's true that I don't have the time to start an online business, what we're basically saying is what we're doing with our time is so unique and so different from the rest of the world that we are the first person in history that has ever experienced our situation, and that is stopping us moving forward, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say we're saying, look, I don't have the time because I work full time and I've got kids, and it's either working during the day or kids in the evening. Don't get me wrong, I get that those are two big commitments, 100%, I'm not disputing that. Now, what we're saying though is, if I don't have the time equals the reason that we can't start an online business, then that must mean that nobody else working full-time with kids has ever started an online business before. So the first way that we can start to really break this down is ask, have other people in my position with kids and working a job, have other people in my position successfully started an online business before or achieved what I'm trying to achieve? And if we go out and look for it, we will always find that we're not the first person in history that's had our unique situation, and there are other people before us who have overcome that challenge and managed to succeed, right? Unless we're trying to be, walk on Mars or something like that, which hasn't been done before, unless it's something that unique and far out there, you can guarantee that other people have done it before in our position. And we all have the same amount of time in the day. So instead of living, and this is really important, most of us will live as if what we believe is the truth. So if we can first of all identify that I don't have the time, it's not the truth, because other people that have got the same commitments as us have done it before, and we've all got the same amount of hours in the day. So the truth is that if someone else has done it, I can do it. So it must be a belief, right? Must be a belief, because the truth is other people have done it and we all have the same amount of time in the day. So if it's a belief, what we can then start to identify is, if we're living as if what we believe is the truth, then we become locked into that belief. That belief then defines us. And the way to break this down is to start recognizing, that isn't the truth, that's a belief. And so therefore, if that's a belief but it's not the truth, what is the truth? Well, the truth is that other people, we've all got the same amount of hours in the day. Other people in my position have started an online business before. How did they do it? Let's find out. And that then opens us up to the potential of figuring out how we can work with the time that we do have to start an online business, right? I want to really highlight the difference. When we say, I don't have the time to start an online business, boom, locked, done, closed, we're not open to possibility. We're like, I don't have the time, I can't do it, end of, right? And therefore that defines us, because we live as if that belief is the truth, and then we can't start an online business because I don't have the time, right? But if we can break it down and say, actually, other people have done it, everyone has the same amount of hours in the day, there must be a way to do it, I just can't see it yet. So what is the truth? What is the answer? Suddenly, we're open. We're not living as if I don't have the time is the reason that we can't start an online business. And we're open to discovering, how do people in our position actually do it? What's the thing that I'm not seeing yet? And suddenly we're then open to discovering, how do we move forward from here? How do we make a start too? How do we achieve what someone like us has achieved before? And then off the back of that, something super powerful that I want to share with you, which like literally changed the way that I look at this thing of I don't have the time to do X, Y, Z, was instead of saying I don't have the time, start saying it's not a priority for me to. Right? So if you say, look, I don't have the time to start a business, well, as we've discussed, we all have the same amount of time. It's just what do we spend our time doing? And other people have our commitments, right? There's other people in the world that have our commitments, and yet they've managed to work with that and somehow do what we're trying to do. And so the truth is, we do have the time. We've all got the time. It's just what do we prioritize, right? So if something was more important to you than anything else, you would find the time. You know, for example, let's go to the extreme. Let's say someone said, hey, if you give me 10 hours a week for the next 12 months, at the end of it, I'll give you £10 million. And you knew that that was going to happen. You believed that that was dead cert. It was on. And therefore, you're like, right, I've just got to give 10 hours a week and then I get 10 million at the end of it. Is there anyone at all, except for maybe billionaires, I don't know, but is there anyone at all that would not be able to find 10 hours per week if it was worth 10 million? Of course we could. We all could. And let's take it to another extreme. Let's say that, like, you know, your kid was in danger or something like that. Would you say, sorry, I don't have the time to help my kid right now? No. Whatever you're doing dropped. Like, there's nothing more important right now than going and you know, being there for your kid, right? In that example. So all it is a case of priority. Where are we ranking this on our scale of priority? Because we're using the 24 hours in our day to do something, right? All of our 24 hours are filled with something. So all it is what is it that we're actually doing in those 24 hours that we're prioritizing higher than what we're saying we want to do? Again, that's the truth. Because if it was important enough to us, it would go up on the priority list and we'd drop other stuff to make sure we do it, and therefore suddenly we'd have the time. So just ask yourself, try saying, instead of I don't have the time, just say it's not a high enough priority for me, and see how that feels, because that's the truth. And when we can start to identify that that's really what's happening, we can start to look at what are we prioritizing higher than this. You know, we're watching Netflix for 2.5 hours in the evening. You know, we going down the pub twice a week. And again, I'm not knocking those things. Like, that's great. Like, if that's what you want to do, fantastic. But be honest about it. Say that it's the priority for me right now to watch stuff on Netflix. Cool, great. You know, chill out, enjoy your time. But don't then also say, I don't have the time to start a business. You do. You just got to prioritize it higher. All right, so hopefully those two things help, those two perspectives. So reminder, number one, is it a belief or is it the truth? And we've got to stop living as if what we believe is the truth, because then we become locked in to that defining us. But when we can separate the two and say what we believe is not the truth, suddenly we're open to exploring what the truth is. And then we can define I don't have the time with it's just not a high enough priority for me, because that's the truth. And that will really start to bring awareness around what is it you are spending your time on and what can you drop to focus on what's important for you instead. Hope that helps. Appreciate you. If you've enjoyed this video or got something out of it, hit like. Also comment below if you have anything to add. If there's anything else that's worked for you around this, if you found the time around your other commitments to start a business. For example, there's 3,000 people in the Scrap the 9 to 5 business community. Many have kids, many have careers, many are coming from lots and lots of different backgrounds and have succeeded in building successful businesses. So recognize that if you look for it, the answers are out there that will help you identify how you can do it too, right? Find someone to model that's like you, look at what they did, and then you can model it. Finally, as I say, if you've enjoyed this, you can hit the subscribe button down below. You'll see that in the bottom corner right now. Hit subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and you'll get a reminder every time a video like this goes live. Thanks very much for watching. Have an awesome week, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.